Congratulations, LA Rams fans. You have discovered Ram Showcase. Tonight, the jersey numbers are in. We've got rookie and veteran number updates. Plus, the hit list has arrived. We talk your LA Rams schedule. And later, Fan Quesos return. We answer your questions. Next on Ram Showcase.
Welcome to Ram Showcase on Sports War Radio.
What's going on, Rams fans? Welcome back to Ram Showcase right here on Sports War Radio. I'm your host, Joe Branham, but you can and should call me Sheriff Joe Bags, and I am laying down the law for you guys tonight. Cool show to get into. Like I said, we've got jersey number updates for you guys. And some cool ones, some interesting ones. Some that I'm actually kind of curious to see out there. You know, we already know what they are, but it's still cool to see them out there. We got our rookie numbers as well. We'll talk about the drafted rookie numbers. And then the hit list, as I like to call it. The schedule is out, and we will be breaking down the entire thing all the way down. And then we'll got some notes on it, some quick transactions. And then we got your fan quesos on the other side. So we'll hop right in. But first, I wanted to this is just a little personal note. I came home from work today and discovered that my downstairs neighbors have moved out. So you know what that means? We can be as loud as we want to, and it's awesome, because I'm just going to, I better not just yell the entire time, because then I'll get used to that, and then my new neighbors that move in downstairs will be like, oh, the apartment's great, but once a week on Wednesdays, that guy upstairs just yells about the LA Rams in that room, so maybe we'll temper it a little bit, but at least today, oh, we're feeling good. Oh, man, I'm excited. So let's go ahead and hop in. We're going to start with transactions, okay? That's not something I normally do, but I feel like that's the smallest news of the week. So we're going to go ahead and knock it right on out. Then we'll get into some other stuff. But really the only transaction that we have here is that the Rams did claim long snapper Matt Orzech off of waivers from the Tennessee Titans. The Packers also put in a claim for Mr. Orzech, but the Rams had priority on the waiver wire, so they were awarded Orzech, not the Green Bay Packers. Of course, we do know that the Rams' longtime long snapper, Jake Mcquaid, is now a Dallas Cowboy playing with Jeezy and Bones with a star on his helmet. So, I mean, I'm happy for him out there, but I'm pretty bummed because I like that guy. So, you know, Jake Mcquaid, he was the longest tenured Ram for a while. Not so much anymore. Now he's in Dallas. The next day, though, after the Rams did claim Matt Orzech, they did waive long snapper Colin Holba. So, one in, one out long snappers. It's not the most riveting news in the universe, but hey, long snappers are people too, and you might hear from Johnny, such as on the Rams schedule release video, that punters are people too. I want that shirt. I don't know why I haven't gotten that yet. The one that he wore on Dude Perfect, back when the Rams were in St. Louis and him and Jeezy were kicking buckets with the dudes from Dude Perfect. That was a cool video, man. I remember that one came out and it was because I'm also a Texas A&M fan, and then they did that one with totally blanking on dude's name. I can picture his face. That wide receiver out there, and he went to the Cardinals. It doesn't matter. I can't remember his name, but it was really cool because it was Texas A&M, it was the LA Rams, and it was like, man, I love these guys. These guys are awesome. You know, it was a fun time for me. Let's talk about these uniform numbers. All right, so the numbers are in, and we'll start with the rookies, actually. The first pick for the LA Rams, wide receiver Tutu Atwell, he will wear number 15. Not a normal number that we've seen for the LA Rams. This is actually... who is the last one we saw in 15? Was it maybe Bradley Marquez in 15? That might be the most recent one we've seen, but not a very common number for the Rams. But Tutu will be rocking that 1-5. That's going to be pretty cool stuff. Ernest Jones, the next pick, he is going to be wearing number 50. So the number vacated by one Samson Ebukam. My favorite 50 in LA Rams history goes to Pisa Tinoisa Moa. Hawaii 5-0 was his nickname, and I loved that. But Ernest Jones now will be rocking that number. Bobby Brown III from Texas A&M. He was number 5 at Texas A&M as a defensive tackle, but he will be in 95 for the Rams. William Hayes is a big one that jumps out to me. I'm trying to think I'm terrible at just thinking of them off the top of the dome here, but Robert Rochelle, the cornerback, he will be wearing number 31. I know that most people's favorite 31 for the Rams, at least in my era, I'll be 30 here in a couple months. Teardrop, but the favorite in my age range is the Adam Archuleta, but also, hey, I'm a Cortland Finnegan guy, man. His ARC 31, his program that he had, his nonprofit that he started, it kind of sits a little bit close to my heart just because of my work history, but I always thought that was a good number. 31 looks very normal on a Rams uniform to me, so I don't know what that does for Mr. Rochelle, but hey, maybe it'll work out. Jacob Harris, the tight end, he will be in number 87. I don't know why this makes perfect sense. I saw that Harris was wearing 87. It's like, well, yeah, obviously. It was either that or 89. Like, but 89's taken, so we can't do that. Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing that hit my brain, that Harris in 87 is like, yeah, obviously. Duh. Like, but I don't know if I'm the only one there, but he will be rocking that 87. Ernest Brown, the fourth. He will be wearing Michael Brocker's old number, that number 90. I don't know how I feel about this one yet. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm a little bit more attached to Michael Brocker's than I originally thought, because I saw that he was wearing number 90, and I was like, ooh, too soon. Just a little bit too soon. The next one here is going to go to Jake Funk. And this makes total sense. He looks like a more athletic Chase Reynolds, and he's going to be wearing number 34. So no real surprises there. That is the number that he wore at Maryland as a running back there. Ben Skowronek, he will be in number 81. So the Torrey Holt number, or the Marty Gilliard number, whatever era you prefer. I'm going to go with the Holt one, though. Gilliard, I think, that's a little bit of a reach as far as a reference goes, but Ben Skowronek, he is going to be wearing number 81. 81, I think, is a cursed number for the Rams, because I think it's supposed to be retired by now. All right, Torrey Holt did some amazing things as a wide receiver for the St. Louis Rams at the time. It did some absolutely incredible things, was a member of the greatest show on turf, one of the only members, one of the only big, like, crucial members of that group that's still waiting on a Hall of Fame bid, but hopefully that'll happen very soon. We're pulling for you, Torrey, man. Come on, get Torrey in. Why is Torrey not in? Honestly, though. Honestly. And so that 81, I think, is cursed. Everybody who's kind of had that since Torrey Holt has just fallen flat. And I don't want to put that bad juju over here on Mr. Skowronek, but I think it's worth noting that everybody to wear 81 post Torrey Holt has kind of been trash. And I did say, in fairness, that I don't think Ben Skowronek is going to make this team. He is not a 53. Come on now. He's not a 53. And that no disrespect. And I hope he balls out. I hope that I'm wrong. Like, because it doesn't benefit me to be right. If he gets cut, what am I going to do? Like, come on here, pop some party poppers, be like, yeah, called it, because it doesn't matter. Who cares? And Chris Garrett, the linebacker, the Rams' last pick in the draft, he will be in number 48. So nothing too crazy there. 48 feels like it feels like a number that he was kind of given. It doesn't feel like he was like, yo, is 48 open? So he will be rocking that 48 at the linebacker spot. Let's go to the veterans, because we got some interesting ones. I'm going to start from the bottom of my list. That doesn't mean anything to you guys. Linebacker Trayvon Howard, he is switching away from number 48 that now Chris Garrett is in, and he will be wearing number 32. So a linebacker in 32 already feels a touch weird. But, and this is not a shot at Howard, but I don't think that the buyout was probably, if there was a buyout on those jerseys, the 48 Trayvon Howard jerseys, it was probably pretty small. I don't think there was, but if there was, it was probably pretty small. But Howard now will be in that 32. David Long Jr., the cornerback, he has been rocking that 25 for, he's third year now. So he's been rocking that 25. I think his rookie year in like training camp, he was a different number too. But he is now taking that number 22, a very popular cornerback number for the Rams. We've seen 22 used quite a bit in that spot. Some names that pop out are Trumaine Johnson, Marcus Peters. Nothing too bananas there. Let's see. Kicker Matt Gay, who actually, there was a moment there where I was like getting real frustrated at the Rams kicking situation last season. And then Matt Gay comes in and he like makes one, then misses one, then makes one, then misses one. And it was like, come on, just put it through the thing, man. And then he's just started nailing them. And so Matt Gay, I'm here for it. And hope he sticks around and hope he keeps on crushing it, man. Because if he stops crushing it, then I don't hope he sticks around. So let's just hope he keeps kicking balls through the big yellow thing at the end of the fields there. But Matt Gay, he was wearing number 1 last year when he joined the Rams, and he will now be wearing that old Sam Bradford number 8. Sam Bradford, number 8. But now it's Matt Gay, number 8. Gate. There's something there. I don't know. Next one here is Jordan Fuller, the safety. He is going from number 32, who is now going to be that Trayvon Howard number. He is going to be a number 4. So a safety in a single digit, and I kind of love it. I'm a little bit weird because, like I said, with the 90 going to Ernest Brown the 4th, I'm a little bit weird at the safeties taking Jeezy's number, all right? But also, Jeezy's also a Cowboy now. So take the 4, man. Take the 4. I've got the Super Bowl jersey up here. The Greg Zuerlein jersey, it's hanging up on my wall over here. The one that he wore at the media day, that video was super cool, by the way. I got a lot of comments, that were saying like, dude, your reaction was just so pure. You were so happy. And I was very happy. But Jordan Fuller is a safety wearing number 4. That's going to be an interesting thing to see. My brain is not caught up to that yet. I'm not there, but hey, I'm kind of here for it. In a Fuller number 4 jersey, that's kind of, the bone is going to look crispy. That's all I'm saying. Next up here, cornerback Darius Williams. He is going away from the number 31, who is now going to be that Robert Rochelle number. He's actually going to be in 11. So Tavon Austin, Josh Reynolds are some notables of recent guys who have worn the 11. But obviously, we know Everett in the 11 is the ultimate 11. He is the master 11 that will always stand as the Rams number 11 is going to be Everett, not Chris Everett. Do not call him that. He won't be happy about it. But Darius Williams in the 11, so that's going to be a little bit weird too. We're going to see Jalen Ramsey on one side and then Darius Williams at number 11 on the other side. That's, I think I hated it at first. I think I'm starting to like it. I think I'm starting to like these numbers that not anybody can wear anything. That's obviously not the case. You won't see a quarterback in number 45, you know what I mean? But I liked it that the 11 on a corner, that feels okay. The 4 on a safety, that feels all right. None of the rookies went with anything too crazy. Actually, none of the rookies went with anything crazy at all. They all went with something that they could have worn last year at their positions. But the next one here is actually Desean Jackson, who, of course, is going into his first year as an LA Ram. So he did not have a back stock of jerseys that he had to buy out. So he was able to actually just choose a number. And with the number that he went with was Matt Gay's old number. He is number 1. And so Desean Jackson comes to the LA Rams. Of course, we know the story of if you had a stock of jerseys and you wanted to change your number, you had to buy those out, and then you could switch your jersey number. That was kind of the thing that the NFL was doing. I think mainly obviously they made all these jerseys, and they don't want to just have to take numbers and nameplates off and stuff like that, or destroy them. I don't know what they do with them, but Desean Jackson, not a part of that club. He'll be rocking that number 1 jersey for the Rams. And like I said, Matt Gay last year, Langford, not that many ones, honestly. I don't think we've seen that many ones. I'd have to look. There's a website that you could just see everybody who's worn those numbers. But I like to try to play the game a little bit in my head. All right. I try to, maybe that's the old schoolness in me, is I like to still have conversations. We play a game, a drinking game, actually. You guys could participate too. It doesn't so you do something wrong and you have to drink. You can just drink while you play it. That's how we always do it, is you go through number 1 to 99 and then you name as many awesome players as you can without those numbers. You can do it sports specific. Obviously we do it with NFL because that's kind of our thing. So you go number 1, you're Warren Moon, Cam Newton, all that stuff. And then go all the way to 99 where you're Aaron Donald, JJ Watt. So it's fun, and you can just have a bunch of beers with your friends and try to just think of these guys. It gets really weird when you get to like 48 and, the 49. I was going to say 47, but John Lynch just jumps into my head right away. Anyway, none of that's that important. But the last one that I wanted to talk to you guys about is actually Robert Woods. He's changing his number away from the number 17 that we've seen him in for the last few years as a Ram. He is actually going to be wearing number 2. This is a number that he's worn all the way back into his little tiny Bobby Trees days, little tiny Woods, a little ficus, little Bobby Ficus over here, where he wore number 2 in Pop Warner. So he's going back to the number 2. He wore the 2 like altered Pop Warner, all like in high school, at USC in college, and then the NFL. Of course, he wasn't allowed to until this year. So Bobby is taking over that number 2 for the Rams. This is a battle that he had with Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey also one of the 2, but looks like Bobby won out. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know what happened. But looks like Bobby won out. Maybe the buyout for Ramsey was a little bit higher than he wanted to pay, because I know Jalen Ramsey jerseys in that number 20. I know those things are stocked up, all right? But also, I mean, the Woods jerseys are there too. The 17, those are there too. So maybe it was just more worth it for Woods. Maybe Jalen still changes his. I don't know. I don't know what deadlines there were or anything like that. But maybe I'm thinking that we'll just see Jalen sticking to the 20. I feel like if he changes, I don't know why, I feel like he's just going to go to 12. I don't know if that's real or not, but it feels like it would be real. I feel like he would go with a 12. Ramsey, 12. That makes sense, right? It checks out. All right, let's get into the schedule, guys. The hit list was released just yesterday. That's actually why I'm doing this. I'm recording on Thursday. It is the 13th. The schedule, normally I would record on a Wednesday, but the schedule was coming out. I made all my photos. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, head over to the Ram Showcase Facebook page. Just type in Ram Showcase at the top, and that's exactly how you do it. And you'll just see all my photos. I made an individual photo for each game of the season, including the bye week, which isn't technically a game, but it is a week in the season. So I made those. I'll slap them up on Twitter as well. I'll probably put them on Instagram also. So make sure you guys are following at Ram Showcase on those avenues as well. But before we start, I want there's inevitably going to be at least one person that is super confused at why we're playing 9 road games and only 8 at home. That is because of the new addition to the regular season with that one additional game. Now we have to alternate. All the AFC teams are hosting. Next year, all the NFC teams are hosting. So I don't know exactly. Oh, man, I did know it. It's in my notes somewhere of what division we'll be playing. I want to say it's the East. It might be the AFC East, and then we'll be hosting same place finishers. So that's kind of how that rotation is going to work. It'll go back and forth. But because of that, and I'm pretty sure it's because of that, the Rams are actually going to host 2 preseason games and then only play 1 on the road. So that's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. So those preseason games, we start at home against the Chargers. So neither team has to travel. So cool for them, I guess. And then we're at home against the Raiders, so not very far for the Raiders to travel, but they will be headed to SoFi Stadium. And then that final preseason game is actually in Denver, which is right up the road from Sheriff Joe Bags. So if you guys want to come and have a beer in the parking lot of the Broncos Stadium with me before this game starts, then come on down, man, because I'll definitely be there 100%. Every time the Rams are in Colorado, I'm there. Even when they were just here for practice in 2018, because of course it was week 6, I believe it was. It was week 6. I know the Rams went 6-0. So in 2018, I was there. It was snowy. It was super cold. It was like a high of 22 that day. It was beautiful. I loved it. And all those California people that came out, it was so fun. It was fun to just be chilling like, yeah, this is Colorado. And they're all like, it was pretty cool. But then, of course, the Rams came to practice out here at the Air Force Academy. Leading up to the Chiefs game that was supposed to be played in Mexico. Of course, that didn't happen. We all know the story. But I was just kind of like, we were following everybody around. I met Miles Simmons. He was the Rams website writer at the time. That was pretty cool. They gave me like a beanie and a pin and stuff. It was pretty sweet. But anytime the Rams are in town, I'm absolutely there. So week 3 in the preseason at Denver, I will 100% be there. There is not a single doubt in my mind. I will get tickets. I know enough family members and stuff that have season tickets so I can get my own. So come on down. Come on out to Colorado. It'll be beautiful because this is in like August. It's going to be fine. And come and have a beer with me. But let's go ahead and start this schedule. So this one kind of released a little bit early, but week 1 at home against the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football. So this is going to be a good one. Matthew Stafford is getting his first chance as the LA Rams quarterback under the lights at SoFi Stadium, and that's pretty cool. He's also playing an opponent that he's played plenty of times in the Chicago Bears. Played him twice a year for all those years. He was drafted, number 1 overall in 2009, I think it was. I want to say it was 2009, the year before we took Bradford 1 overall. But, that's the big story. Prime time for Stafford's opener. That's awesome. But the question mark on the other side is who's going to be starting a quarterback for the Chicago Bears? Is it going to be Andy Dalton? Is it going to be Justin Fields? If I had to put money on it, it's Andy Dalton. That's why I don't understand exactly why this is a primetime game in week 1, why you would put the Bears, who are going to just start the Red Rocket for probably, 5, 6, 7 weeks, and then Fields is going to come in. I don't know. Feels like a little bit of a weird thing to me, but hey, that's all good because last time these two teams played, not only did the Rams win, but Leonard Floyd had something to say about it, all right? And that was pretty cool. So he had a pretty big game. Hopefully he can duplicate that in this season in the 2021 opener. Sunday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. That'll be pretty cool stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll be putting up the images that I made over here. So you guys already know that because you've already seen the Bears one. So either way. Next game here, week 2. The Rams travel out to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. This game does kick off at 10 a.m. LA time. And I am not a fan of the early games. I can tell you that much right now. I like to get up and take my sweet time getting ready and then watch the first half of the games and then hit the road, do my little Facebook Live that I always do. Some of you guys know about that. If you guys don't, hop on the Ram Showcase Facebook page and join me live. We do live pre-game every single game while I'm driving to go watch it. Or if I happen to be at home, which sometimes I get one at home a year, I'll just sit here and we'll sit in the sheriff station and do it. But make sure you guys head over there and do that. But 10 a.m., man, I'm a little bit groggy on those ones because obviously the night before this is a Saturday night and I like to have good times. So we'll usually be a little bit groggy. The storyline that we're watching in this one, Wentz is the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts now. That's huge. That is the biggest thing. But what does his impact look like? Because the Colts don't like to turn the ball over, and Carson Wentz does, it looks like. So I'm okay if he does like to turn it over quite a bit in this game. I would be okay with that. But, the real story here also, aside from just Wentz starting this game, is the Rams and Colts this entire century have not had a close game. Not since pre-2000. I think it was 95 the last time these two teams had a decent game against each other. So it's been quite a while. The closest game this decade was 17-point difference. All right, and that was in 2005. It was a 45-28 win by the Colts. The Rams won the most recent game between these two teams, and that was in 2017. That was actually the opener of the 2017 season, and that was the game that was wait a second, are we good? I remember LaMarcus Joyner getting that pick 6, and the way he ran into the end zone and just kept running after he hit the end zone, it was like, wait a second. I think we might be a good football team, guys. And then, of course, we went to the postseason that year. First time in way too long. So that was pretty cool. But that was the most recent game. But yeah, none of these games have been close. So maybe we'll just beat them up again. And next game here is going to be week 3. The Rams come back to LA to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game kicks off at 1:25 p.m. So the late game, which is always preferable. The storyline here, the Bucs, they won the Super Bowl. They're bringing back all 22 starters, and they won the Super Bowl last year. That's absolutely massive. I think it's worth noting, though, that the Buccaneers were unable to defeat the LA Rams last year, the year that they won the Super Bowl. So maybe we can repeat that as well. Hopefully that entire situation doesn't repeat and the Buccaneers just going to win the Super Bowl. Hopefully that is Matthew Stafford holding that bad boy up at the end of the year. But either way, because the Bucs are coming to town and early season, I think that is somewhat beneficial because we'll at least be healthy. They'll be healthy, which is not beneficial. But all 22 starters back, man, I don't know. It's an interesting situation because does that just lead to continuity? Are they just going to pick up from right where they left off at the Super Bowl and just be good again, right away? Because there was a stretch last year where they didn't look very awesome. So is that what's going to happen? Or is it going to be like, oh, no, man, we got all 22 starters back. We won the Super Bowl last year. We got Tommy B as our quarterback. We're all good, man. And do they come out starting slow? Does it happen? Does it happen? Week 4 against the Arizona Cardinals at home again. This is going to be a 1:25 p.m. kickoff time. The storyline in this one, Sean McVay has yet to lose to the Arizona Cardinals since becoming the Rams head coach. That is pretty big, all right, because he's been here since 2017. All right, so last time that the Cardinals were able to defeat the LA Rams, 2016, Rams' first year back in LA. That was Goff's rookie season, though. Not a good one. That was not very fun to watch. And the Cardinals defense, they improve. But by how much? I don't actually know. So they bring in J.J. Watt. They address that, which, obviously is good. But pass rush wasn't their downfall last year. So I don't know. They did add pieces. They added pieces. I don't know exactly how good the Arizona Cardinals are going to be this year. I'm a little bit confused at how good they'll be, but I also think they have the worst coaching staff, so I don't think it's just roster-wise. Roster-wise, they're up there. But so is everybody in the NFC West. They're up there. Their coaching staff might be the weakest, though. Next one here, the next primetime game for the LA Rams in Week 5 at the Seattle Seahawks. This is a Thursday night football game. The storyline here, Seahawks won the division last year, but the Rams defeated the Seahawks on the road in the postseason in the wild card round. So who's the real champion? All right, you guys won the regular season, but we played further. All right, Rams played further than any other NFC West team last year, so I take that as a win. All right, that to me is the champions. The champions play the furthest, right? That's in my mind, I guess. And Gerald Everett, now Seahawks tight end as well. I'm expecting trash talk, all right? I'm expecting Jalen Ramsey and Gerald Everett to chirp it up. And that's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. Thursday night football, so this is going to be a tight turnaround. At least we're at home we're coming off of a home game, so, and then it's just up the coast there to Seattle for this one. So not too bad, but Thursday at Seattle, that's going to be a tough one. We'll see how many fans are in that stadium, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be rocking pretty loud. Primetime in Seattle is usually pretty obnoxious. After that, the Rams do have a little bit of a break, one of those little fake buys to have a Thursday night football game, but then the Rams are going all the way to the other coast and playing at the New York Giants at 10 a.m., those dreaded 10 a.m. games. The Giants have helped out Jones quite a bit, but if he's not getting it done by week 6, which is where this game is at, the Giants might kind of keep their eyeballs a little bit more open on the next option here. And who could that be? Could it be a Rodgers? I have no idea. I kind of feel like this is Rodgers last year in Green Bay. New York I think it makes perfect sense. It makes all the sense for Aaron Rodgers to end up going to the Giants next year. I don't know. Maybe that's way too early. But this is the second of the Rams' 4 early kickoff games, so those 10 a.m. games. Not the biggest fan, but I think week 6, if Daniel Jones throws like 3 picks to Rams corners, like 1 to Jalen, 1 to Darius, and maybe one to Fuller or something, that's where we're gonna have to start looking at that and be like, or they are, because I don't really care, but they're gonna have to start looking at that and be like, maybe it's time. We've helped him out. He's got the team around him. He's not getting it done. But I think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I just don't think he's a great quarterback. Then the Rams do come home for one of the more exciting games on this schedule, in my opinion, which is week 7 at home against the Detroit Lions. This is a 1:05 p.m. kickoff time. We'll have a bunch of really good stuff. One of my good buddies, Kurt Steele, he's a big Lions guy. He does the Die Hard Den podcast. Incredible show, incredible guy. He'll definitely be on the show. I haven't asked him yet, but he will be. I know it. I'll be on his show. He'll be on mine. We're just we're homies like that, so we'll be doing that. But this is the Goff and Stafford Bowl. Jared Goff played for the Rams. Matthew Stafford played for the Lions. Now they're opposite, and now they're going to battle it out. We also got Brock coming back to town. Michael Brockers eating up blockers, and this game here, obviously the Detroit Lions they're in a spot where they're anticipating and preparing for the next few years to really build a contender. That's the nicest possible way I can say that they're rebuilding. But the LA Rams obviously are a very strong team right now. They're in the conversation for being a representative in the Super Bowl for the NFC. The Detroit Lions are not there on the other side of that. So I don't know exactly what to expect here, but I do anticipate that Aaron Donald getting to Jared Goff is something that we see probably a couple of times. And that's just not good news for Mr. Jared Goff, because we know better than probably anybody else that Jared Goff has some struggles under pressure. And if AD is getting to him, if Flo is getting to him, then, well, we could force him into some turnovers. That's for sure. We know how that works with good old Jared. So that'll be a fun one, though. I'm really excited for that game. That's not necessarily one that I'm looking at going to, unless maybe some cool stuff can play out. But that one, I think that's going to be a fun one. At least the build up and doing the podcast that week and stuff. That'll be a fun one for surezies. Next up, Week 8 at the Houston Texans. This is another 10 a.m. kickoff. The story here, the Texans here they're my pick for the first overall pick in this draft. I think it goes Texans, and then I think it goes Lions. I don't really have much more after that, but I think those are the two worst teams in the league this year. But Texans, I don't know if they'll win a game. I don't. I don't know if they're going to win a game, but we can't really say that because A, I don't know, and B, the Rams just lost to the Jets last year, so anything can happen. Anything can happen, but I'm going to guess that Deshaun Watson will be available for this game, but technically we don't actually know that, and also if he is technically available at this time of the season in Week 8, is he just a Denver Bronco? I don't know. The Denver Broncos, I feel like, are clearly in the market. They want Rodgers, it sounds like, and Watson was a part of the conversation not that long ago. So if Deshaun Watson is playing in Week 8, is it even for the Houston Texans? Is it for the Denver Broncos? I'm not sure yet. The Broncos did not address quarterback via the NFL draft. Instead, went with Surtain at corner with their 9 spot. So it makes sense that they would try to make a move there. Next one here, Rams return to prime time in Week 9 at home against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday Night Football. The second SNF game and the second home primetime game of 2. So it's the last home primetime game for the LA Rams. Both of them are Sunday Night Football games hosted at SoFi by the Rams. The story here, 2 absolute athletic freaks might actually meet in the running lane, and that's pretty cool. Aaron Donald, Derrick Henry. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? You get some really good football on Sunday Night Football, all right? That's going to be some good stuff. I'm pumped for it. I am here for that. And I guess we can call this a Super Bowl rematch, but I think that's extremely thin. I don't really buy into that just because it happened. It's been a while. All right, guys. It was January. I got it over here. January 30th. I was going to say 29th. January 30th of 2000. That was when that game played out. So it's not a rematch of that for sure. But hey, Tannehill's playing some good ball. Derrick Henry is an absolute monster. They've got Josh Reynolds now, so he'll be making his return to the Rams. And we'll get some more under the lights action. That'll be a good one. I'm excited. All right. I'm excited about all of them, in fairness. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't need to say that every one, I don't think. I'm pumped for all of these games. They're all going to be awesome. And the next one here, Week 10, the Rams travel to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers on Monday Night Football. So SNF followed by MNF, and that's going to be some good stuff. So it's nice that when you have a night game, I mean, it is at home, but it's nice when you have a night game that you get like that one extra day. Just that one. Of course, we won't. No, we'll talk about that next. That'll kind of play out sweet. But Monday Night Football at the 49ers. So under the lights at Levi's Stadium at the Field of Jeans we'll be playing. And is this about the time that Trey Lance starts? I'm not sure. But also, Jimmy G has really shown the inability to stay healthy. So is Trey Lance starting in this game? That's really what we need to know, but we've got a few weeks to figure that out, all right? This is more than halfway through the season that we'll be able to figure this one out. The Rams did not defeat the 49ers last year, even when the 49ers were pretty beat up and Garoppolo wasn't playing, Kittle was out. All these guys weren't playing, and we still lost to them. I don't know what it is. Shanahan just knows how to defeat McVay, so hopefully we can turn that around and stop doing that because it sucks. And of all the games, of all the teams, I mean, if we just go 6-11 every year, just win those division games. You know what I mean? Just win those dang division games, and I won't want to absolutely lose my mind. But if we're like crushing everybody else and losing division games, that sucks. And then week 11 is the Rams bye week, so we are off after the Monday Night Football game, which is actually really nice. We don't get that short week. We get a shortened bye week in a sense. It's only 13 days, but hey, that's totally fine with me. Because after the bye week, so Monday Night Football, and then we'll be at home for week 11, and then we travel to the Green Bay Packers in week 12. This is a 1:25 p.m. kickoff time. This is LaFleur and McVay again. All right, cramming up your cram hole, LaFleur. And the Packers did knock out the Rams last year in the postseason, robbing us at the chance to play in an NFC Championship game. But that's okay because they didn't do it either. I don't like losing to losers, though. So if we're going to lose, at least be to the champion. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I don't like when we lost to the Packers, I saw a bunch of Rams fans like, oh, well, I hope they lose. Like, I don't want to lose to a loser. That means we're loser squared. I don't want to do that. But that's besides the point. These are two of the top 3 NFC teams out there right now. You throw in the Bucs, and these are the teams. The Rams, the Packers, and the Buccaneers, and we get both of those teams, so that's pretty cool stuff. But that's awesome, and we got to see it. But those 3 teams, this is going to be an important game, and it's in week 12. This is going to be an important game, and you know that LaFleur and Jordan Love maybe are gonna be ready for this one, and man. We got a good schedule, guys. We'll talk about some notes here in a second, but I'm liking this schedule. After that, we got week 13, and we finally hit December versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a 1:25 kickoff, and Lawrence and Urban Meyer, they should have some continuity by now. They should be kind of feeling the rhythm at this point of the season and getting their stuff flowing. You know, maybe Lawrence is throwing some tutties to Mr. Tebow. Probably not, but, you know, that'll be some interesting stuff. This is going to be the 6th matchup ever between these two teams. We've only played 5 times. The Rams are 4-1 all time against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that one loss was in overtime in the 2009 season. If you guys remember the 2009 season, like I do so vividly, the Rams only won 1 game that year. So to say that they only had lost to the Jags 1 time, and it was in a season that the Rams only won 1 game, and it was an overtime loss. Well, it sounds to me like the Rams kind of have the Jags number just a little bit. So that's okay with me. This heads up, I don't care who knows it. This is the game I'm targeting it going. It's December 5th, and me and my best friend, she's a Jaguars fan, so I think that this is just going to be the one. I think this is the week I see SoFi. December also buys us enough time to kind of open up the world a little bit more, and hopefully get a little bit more through this pandemic. And also, I live in Colorado, guys, all right? And it would be pretty sweet to go out to LA in December, all right? When Colorado kind of sucks, all right? And it's like dark at 4:45 and all that. So this is going to be a good one, though. We got Trevor Lawrence in his rookie season, a potential Hall of Famer that we could be seeing unfold. And, you know, I want to see him in his rookie year. And not only that, but I want to see SoFi Stadium in the season, its real rookie season, that we can actually go see it. And then Matthew Stafford, added that in too. And this is the year that I go out to LA for sure. And this is the game I'm targeting. Next game here is going to be week 14 at the Arizona Cardinals. This game is also on Monday Night Football. So, of course, we are at home, and then we get a long week coming off not playing on Sunday because we got Monday Night Football in Glendale, Arizona. So the old guys that the Cards signed, are they still there? Are they still playing in this game? Is J.J. Watt still healthy at this time? Is A.J. Green still healthy at this time? Those are questions that I cannot answer for you right now, because if I could, I would not be doing a podcast in my apartment. I would be making so much more money doing other things. But Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals in this one. Well, I want to touch on that later, just in a little bit. But this game, I mean, this is also about the time where the Rams could be feeling some of that too. Is Whitworth still going to be on the field this time? So, it kind of works both ways. I know I call out the Arizona Cardinals for being super old, but we got the old guys too. I mean, it's not like Stafford's super young, and it's not like Witt's super young. So, I mean, AD's now 30. So, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. This team is aging. We remember when we were like the youngest team in the NFL by like a margin for like a couple of years. And now that's not necessarily the case anymore. But Arizona Cardinals week 14 should be a pretty big game as far as the timing of that one. In week 15, the Rams do come home to play the Seattle Seahawks at 125. This is likely a big game in the NFC West race as well, but how big, I'm not 100% sure. I have the Seahawks finishing last place. This could, though. I mean, any of these games, the week 14 against the Cardinals, week 15 against the Seahawks, and then week 18, that feels weird to say, against the 49ers, those all could be potential division-determining games. Like winning that could mean you're winning the division. So obviously every game's important, but those games are extremely important. But the Seattle Seahawks in that week 15 slot, the Rams luck out playing in Seattle early in the season and playing at home against Seattle late in the season. It always feels like it's opposite. It feels like the Rams have always been in Seattle like week 16 and it sucks and it's cold and it's rainy. And for a team that's played most of its life in LA, and then when it wasn't in LA for those 21 years in St. Louis, played in a dome, I don't feel super good about playing in cold weather games late season, going into that January, like the December-January timeframe. This game, of course, will be played in December. Next game here, the Rams are on the road in week 16 at the Minnesota Vikings. This is a 10 a.m. kickoff game. The big matchup here, which I will be talking about pretty heavily leading up, I'm sure, will be Justin Jefferson versus Jalen Ramsey. We saw what Ramsey did to number one wide receivers last year, was absolutely just shutting them down. All right, he was putting the lock on and just tossing the key into the thing. That fell apart real fast on me. But either way, Jalen Ramsey, he played amazing against some very top talent wide receivers last year. Justin Jefferson's one of those. Of course, we've got more up this list that I did not mention. Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf again. There's... and then the Bucs and all of their wide receivers. I think I have a contract with the Bucs now. I don't know. So that's gonna be a big story for sure. The Rams did win the most recent game between these two in 2018, but they did lose the previous 5. So we are on a 1-game win streak, but coming off of before that was a 5-game losing streak to the Minnesota Vikings. So hopefully we can keep that going and actually start a real streak, because 1 is not a streak. 1 might just be an anomaly, so we'll keep that going. Week 17, this is our bonus game that was wedged in there right before the end of the season at the Baltimore Ravens. This is a 1:25 p.m. kickoff time. The Ravens absolutely smoked the LA Rams the last time these teams played, which was 2019? Oh gosh, it was not good. All right, it was Monday Night Football. This is a game, actually, I got the flag for it right behind the camera up here, and the game pin that somebody sent me. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. And it was Monday, September 25th, 2019, or that says November 25th. So that it was such a, I want to say it was 45-7. So it was bad, guys. It was not good. We just got absolutely wrecked, and it looked like we couldn't do anything that game. So hey, payback would feel pretty nice, wouldn't it? Payback would feel really nice, especially since we weren't even really supposed to play this team this year. We were supposed to wait another couple years. So I will take that 100% every time, and hopefully we can get some payback on them. East Coast late games here for it. So we're in Baltimore, and it's a 1:25 kickoff time. So it's going to be 3:25 kickoff local, or no, 4:25 local time out in Baltimore. So like a borderline night game for them out there. But for us, it's just a normal time. But I'm here for it. I love when we can get the late game, and it's also not like we're going to the East Coast, but we also get the late game. We don't have to wake up super early. I mean, I'm up every day like 5, but still hate it. And the last game of the season is going to be Week 18 at home against the San Francisco 49ers. This game kicks off at 1:25. Does the NFL think the NFC West division comes between these two? Because I think it might. And I think the NFL might know that. And I think that's why this game is week 18, the final game of the season. I think that this might be the one. This might be the determining factor. And it's scheduled right now for the 125. But, of course, week 18 doesn't currently have a Sunday night game scheduled. Any of those games can get flexed depending on the playoff situations that we're seeing unfold. So maybe Stafford is what the Rams needed to be able to defeat the San Francisco 49ers. Maybe it was a Goff thing. Maybe Goff just cannot beat the 49ers, which I hope he does week 1 because the Lions play the 49ers in week 1, and I'm hoping that Goff is out there and he's like, I know what to do. Like, first of all, why didn't you do that last year? And second of all, just go do it. Just go do it. Some notes here, just some interesting things that I caught on the schedule just to talk about. So all 3 road division games are in primetime. Home primetime games are only on Sunday Night Football. We'd already talked about that. There's 2 of them. But then all 3 Rams road primetime games are all 3 division opponents. At the Seattle Seahawks on, was that one, Monday Night Football? No, Thursday Night Football, sorry. And then the other 2, Monday Night Football at the Arizona Cardinals, and then Monday Night Football at the San Francisco 49ers. So all 3 road division games are primetime games. I think that's very interesting. I don't know what the mindset was there in the schedule makers and their almightiness. And I feel like, I don't know if it's true, but I feel like they sit at this huge conference table and they just like discuss storylines. And then they're like, what would be best for week 1? Cowboys, Bucks, I guess? I don't understand why that's the kickoff game. Anyway. The Rams do end the season with 5 road games in their final 8, including at Minnesota and at Baltimore back-to-back. That's a little bit of a rough stretch when you're going, that's week 16, 17. That's a tough little back-to-back before coming home to play the 49ers, who might, have you a little bit on the ropes for the division. That might be the situation that we're looking at here. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, but yeah, that's fine. And the Rams get 4 early games. My only note here is whack. And all primetime games have nice surrounding games, meaning that the travel doesn't really turn into a problem for these games. Even a road Thursday night football game is preceded by a home game. So at least, it's like we're already in our city. Just go home, battle that LA traffic for like 17 hours, and then get home. And then you're at least already home. You don't have to fly home. All right, let's go ahead. We do have some fan cases for you guys. I want to answer these for sure. Obviously, I want to answer these. What am I talking about? I don't want to not answer. I should have pulled them up beforehand. I'll tell you that much. And so we do have some questions here. Most of them are actually pretty easy ones. So we'll go through these ones. First one here is going to come from James. Based on the draft and free agency strategy, it seems that the Rams are back in the win this year and only this year mode. Do you think that's true? And if so, do you think that's a smart strategy? I don't think that's true, actually. The way that this team is built today, I think that we're built for like a 3-year window. That's what it feels like to me. The way that the rookie contracts are set up, the way that our quarterback situation is right now with the 33-year-old Stafford, the way that our defense is with their current contracts, with like the Ramsey contract and the Donald contract, it does not feel like it's a win just this year mode. It feels like this year is a chance we have to win, so let's go ahead and go pick up a different quarterback, because it has felt like this is a very good team, but last year our quarterback held us back, and there's no way to say that without kind of sounding like a jerk, I guess, a little bit, but it is the truth. Jared Goff was holding the Rams back last year. Very talented team, and our quarterback was holding us back. So the Rams addressed that. So I think that the Rams know that they can win this year. They have the ability to win this year, but I wouldn't say that they're only focused on, they're like, oh no, if we don't do it this year, we're done. I think that we're built to be competitors for 3 or 4. And I do think that's a smart strategy. I mean, what's the alternative? Honestly, like, what's the alternative? Just being average for like 20 years? Or being like sick as hell for 5 years and then taking a dip because your cap situation sucks and, you gotta let some people go. You take a little bit of a dip and then come back. I mean, look at what the Patriots are doing. The Patriots look like a strong team this year. You know what I mean? So there are ways to do this where you can rebuild for just like 1 or 2 years. And I think that the Rams are in a good situation, especially with the way they've been able to draft And, we'll see these classes as time goes on. The 2021 draft class is probably not going to have that much of an impact on the 2021 season, but the 2020 draft class looks like it will have a bigger impact on the 2021 season than it did last year. So I think that the way that this team is building, I wouldn't say that they're just win today and that's it. Next one here is from Alex. Which player from last year's draft class will make the biggest impact this season other than Cam Akers? Yeah, that's a good question, man. Obviously my brain just wants to go to Van Jefferson, but I think I'm going to go Jordan Fuller. I think Fuller I think he's going to really step it up this year, and I think we're going to see some really good things from Jordan Fuller at the safety position. I really do. I think he's going to be one of those guys that because obviously Rams fans in the draft is such a frustrating time for somebody like myself. Because when we drafted John Johnson, I remember you guys. I remember so many people were like, "Who is that? A safety from Boston College? What? We didn't need him. Who is that? I don't know. He sucks." It was that's really the comments that I'm reading. And now he's one of the better safeties in the NFL. So I think that Fuller's on a similar path to that. So I'm going to go Jordan Fuller. Cody wants to know we got shotgun here from Cody. That's dope. All right. What kind of quesos does Aaron Donald prefer? Spicy. Obviously spicy, dude. He wants some spice. I wasn't prepared for that question. Oh well. I can yell again though, so it doesn't matter. Let's see. What can Sean McVay do better this year than previous years, including time managing? Potentially getting better with Stafford? So time management, I do think we'll get better with Matthew Stafford, because we know that Sean McVay loves to blow timeouts in the first quarter. That is his thing. He loves to do that. If there's 9 minutes left to go in the first quarter, we're probably down to 1. So hopefully he does get better at that. Other than that, I would say, I feel like last year he started, I don't know if it was, you know what? I talked myself out of that as it was coming out of my face. So what I'm thinking here, what's happening in my brain, because it's a lot of things happening, is that Sean McVay was getting conservative and out coaching himself last year. But the more I think about it, I think he was just really not trusting Jared Goff. Some of those looks that he was giving Goff coming off the field and stuff like that it's like, dude, he does not like him. I remember telling my buddy that. I was like, I don't think Sean McVay likes Jared Goff very much, man. That look, they're not friends. If they're friends, he's like, hey, man, hey, you're good. You got this. But he's just glaring at him, So, yeah, I think that'll get better. And, yeah, I want to see the time management get a lot better, especially burning those TOs, man. Next one here. How do you feel about the Rams' schedule? We need a before-season record prediction from you by predicting the schedule. We'll run through it. I'm not going to do that today because it's May. But, we'll definitely get that before, bring this one back up in preseason time, and we'll absolutely run through the schedule, and I'll give you guys win-losses. I think that this Ram team is going to be very good this year, and I think that Matthew Stafford, I think after week 1, we're going to be talking about holy crap, did we get better at quarterback? I really think that's what's about to happen. Let's see. Any surprise jumps from any players this year you would like to see? I want to see Sebastian Joseph Day come in and just wreck some souls, man. I think he can. I think he's got that personality. I think he's got the attitude for it. I would want to see him maybe just be just a touch, just a skosh more mature. But hey, he's also a defensive lineman. He's not a quarterback, so I have no complaints. If you can ball out, do your thing, man. It's fine. You can do whatever you want. If you're performing out there on the field, just go nuts, man. Go crazy. Thoughts on exactly how good Leonard Floyd is, and bringing him back with Donald could that make life a lot easier for whomever is rushing on the other side for a chance to meet the most impactful? Okay, so I think that Obo probably gets the start, at least week 1. But I do think that having Donald and Floyd out there, that does open it up for other people. And if we can say Bobby Brown III, maybe he is that block eater that Brockers was, and he can start over a guy like A'Shawn Robinson, who I realize, I've been penciling him in as a starter for no real reason. His job's not safe. It's not his to lose or anything like that. He's got to earn it. He may not even be here. He may be a cut. So I think it does make it a lot easier. So I'm going to guess today in May that it'll be Obo starting opposite of Floyd. And dude's got the motor to get it done, just like Ebukam did. That's why I think Ebukam did a good job. His high motor and being put in good positions from the other pass rushers that the Rams have on the team. How do you feel about Burgess replacing Johnson at strong safety and the battle that's going to come at slot cornerback? Makes me excited to see preseason. Dude, I love preseason. I've always loved preseason, though. I love watching preseason in like the fourth quarter with guys that are just desperate to make a roster spot, man. They because Rams don't play starters, so we get that all the way through. We get like sweet roster battles and position battles all game because, Matthew Stafford's not going to be on the field in preseason. He's not. Okay. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, they're not going to be out there. Robert Woods, Desean Jackson probably might see a little bit of time, but Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Cam Akers, these guys are not going to be out there. They're just not. And I love the preseason for that reason. And I love being able to see these guys. I want to see the undrafted guys, the Paris Ford, and see what he can do at safety. You know what I mean? I want to see that. I love that stuff so much. So yeah, I'm excited about it. But as far as your question here, how do I feel about Burgess starting? I think Burgess is a very, very talented safety. He's very raw, but I'm very excited to see what he can do. And I think Taylor Rapp is a cut today. It's May 13th. I think Taylor Rapp today, I would probably place him in the cut range. But if Burgess is maybe not there yet, maybe Rapp comes in and they do a rotational kind of deal. So that battle at the cornerback position, I'll be honest, man. I know that everybody's talking David Long, but if the guy's been here for a couple of years and the coaching staff is not itching to get them out on the field, there's no reason for us to. So for that reason, I think that this could be a sweet battle between Long and Rochelle, and I wouldn't be shocked to see Rochelle win that one. Who's the biggest threat for us to win the division? Somebody in the division still has to end up last, so somebody going to get ate up by the division. I'm not a huge fan of the Cardinals coach myself, other than the fact that he coached Murray in college. Did he? I know he coached Mahomes. Do you think that this is a make-or-break year for... do you think this is his make-or-break year? Yes, absolutely. Kingsbury, if he doesn't do amazing things this year, he's got to be out. I don't think there's any question about that. My last place prediction, though, is actually Seattle. I think that Seattle has the most wrong, which isn't even that much, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? So I think the Arizona Cardinals, I think that they're able to kind of make up for their coaching downfalls with their talented roster, and also they know from last year when they had that big dip in the middle of the season that now they kind of learned from that. They have to have learned from that, right? These guys are all in the NFL. They're literal pros. So hopefully, I don't care if they do. I hope they suck, but maybe they'll change that around. The 49ers got absolutely eaten alive by injuries last year. I fully anticipate them being in the conversation come the end of the season about winning the NFC West. The LA Rams, their biggest weakness was quarterback. They addressed that in a big way. So I think that the Rams are very big competitors this year. The Seattle Seahawks, obvious competitors. Obvious. I mean, as long as Russell Wilson's there, they have a chance at a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't think that's too wild to say. But they are the only team in the NFC West this season that has had a very negative story come out. And that kind of stuff, I think it matters. I think it does. I think that when you have your quarterback coming out saying, I'm sick of getting hit, I think Aaron Donald's sitting back there like, oh, do you? You don't like getting hit, Russ? Okay, well, I'll see you week 5, bro. So I don't know. I think that the Seahawks have the weakest roster. I think that the Cardinals have the weakest coaching staff. So it's tough, man. This division, I love this though. I would way rather have this than have this Rams team in the NFC East where we just know we're gonna win. That's awesome. It's got to feel good to just go into a season and be like, okay, well, I mean, we'll just get to the playoffs, man. We know we're gonna win the division, so let's just plow on through. But we cannot do that. We cannot do that because if we have a 4-game slip in the middle of the season, we may miss the playoffs. The entire NFC West could be in the postseason. That's some real stuff, man. But yeah, Kingsbury, make or break year, for sure. I'm planning on going to the Colts game. You? No, not an Indy, man. I want to see SoFi desperately want to see SoFi Stadium. So I'm looking at that. And then, of course, with the Rams preseason schedule coming out, the Rams coming to Denver, that'll be a pretty loaded weekend for me. So we'll be at that one as well. Next one here says, too bad we aren't playing in Denver this year for regular season. That could be a fun meetup. Dude, come on out, man. All right, because A, Denver's a pretty sweet city. All right. B, I'll be there, so it'll be a good time no matter what. All right. Parties follow me. All right. I don't know what it is, but when I go places, they're always fun. And I don't know if that's only my perspective or if everybody's feeling the same thing. But everywhere I'm at, I'm usually having a pretty good time. All right. And, we can get some beers going. I don't do like beer bongs or anything because I'm like an adult now. But, we'll have some beers. Some of those Denver fans are super cool, man. Not all of them. Definitely not all of them. I got stuff thrown at me at a preseason game one time. I had my Daryl Richardson sign, my Cortland Finnegan jersey on, and my face painted. And, yeah, that didn't go well. Yeah, come on out, though, man. I don't know where you live, but come on out. It'll be a good time. It's in Denver. Like I said, Denver's an awesome city. We'll go do some, if it's a Saturday, we'll go out on, Friday night or something like that. If it is a Saturday, maybe we'll go out after the game and do some stuff. But, yeah, if you guys are going to that game, let me know. We'll go out and party, guys. Blake Street is awesome. They've got some the Blake Street Tavern is where we all met up last time in 2018. They were super welcoming and accommodating. They were really cool with us, completely overrunning the basement there with just Rams fans. And this was the day before the Rams and Broncos game. So they were super cool with us and everything. So maybe that'll be the spot again. But yeah, come on out, man. And everybody else, come on out. Let's go have some fun. Next one here. I want a Super Bowl or super early prediction. Yes or no? The next 3 years, do we make a Super Bowl and do we win it? I think that's very real. But there are some very good NFC teams right now, man. Those Green Bay Packers are no joke, especially if Rodgers is in town. If he leaves, I'm not too scared of them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, very strong team. San Francisco 49ers were just in a Super Bowl, got eaten up by injuries last year. I think they're competitive. I think the entire NFC West is competitive. We're being real here. Let's see. I don't know, man. I don't really trust Dallas that much. I feel like they win the division. I don't know, but I actually, Washington feels real. They feel more real, I guess. I don't know. There's some pretty good NFC teams and some teams in the NFC that look like they'll probably be pretty good while we're pretty good. So our windows are kind of coinciding with some others, and that's unfortunate. But hey, yeah, I think that I think that we have a smart enough coach and an experienced enough quarterback and a good enough defense that yeah, we can make it to a Super Bowl. And now that McVay lost a Super Bowl, I don't think if he goes to another one, his next one, I don't think he loses it. I think he does. I think he goes back and he does all the right things this time because I think he outcoached himself. He and Bill Belichick outcoached Sean McVay in that Super Bowl. What game is Sheriff Joe Bags planning to attend in person? Indy would be a great choice. Lots of Rams fans will be there. Yes, I know lots of Rams fans will be there. That's why I want to go, and I do want to see that stadium really bad. But I want to go hang out with Pat McAfee, probably drink beers and stuff. But yeah, it looks like this year I'll probably be in Denver, and then SoFi December 5th is what I'm looking at. So hey, who wants to come party or who wants to go party and meet me at SoFi December 5th or meet me out up at, they changed the name of that stadium it's still Invesco to me. Some people it's just Mile High still. It's never been Mile High Stadium. It was always Invesco or whatever at Mile High, Sports Authority at Mile High. But doesn't matter. It's just that stadium out there. The Broncos Stadium right across the street from Yelich Gardens, which is where I made some sick childhood memories. Some sweet memes as a little tiny Joe Bags. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And that does it for our fan quesos. We did go a little bit over this week, but I definitely wanted to talk about that schedule stuff. So we got that in. We got our fan quesos in. We talked about New Jersey numbers. We are good to go. And I can still yell in here because I got no downstairs neighbors. I would love if they banged. Right now, we're still here, you jerk. Stop yelling about the Rams. Oh, well. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you guys follow Ram Showcase on all your favorite social media. That would be at Ram Showcase on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook.com/Ram Showcase. You can follow myself as well at Sheriff Joe Bags on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook.com/Sheriff Joe Bags. Pretty simple stuff there. Make sure you guys follow, dang, I totally blew off. You guys already saw it on the thing, but make sure you guys check out Shaw's Customs. There will be links, no matter where you are listening to me, that you can follow and go pick out yourself some sick merch. I am working still on my commercial for Shaw's Customs. I had it all written out, and then I had an idea, which made me rewrite the whole thing. So I am working on it. It's going to be a fun one, though. It's the editing's pretty hefty. So it's good stuff, though. I'm really excited about that to come out. But Shaw's Customs, he made this beer mug for me. He made this shot glass for me. He made this my face mask back here for me. He made my decal that's down here. I want to put that on my guitar. Actually, I should have done that already, because that blue is pretty Rams blue on my guitar. Oh yeah, that's a decent Rams blue that we're rocking with. So we'll do that, I think. We'll do that. Maybe I'll just do that tonight. No, I gotta edit my show. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Shaw's Custom. Josh is super awesome, guys. He's been helping out so much. I'm still getting him some stuff. I've been making him like logos and stuff like that. But we're getting this thing rolling a little bit slow, I guess. But hey, this is a really strong partnership. And Josh, I'm glad that I get to work with him in this capacity, because just a genuine person. I've been in business with a few people that have not been genuine, and that's a bag of bummers, man, and I'm not here for that. And so it's good to work with somebody who's actually like pumped to be working with me, and be awesome, and does great work, and is as in love with this team as I am. So I'm here for it, man. Go Josh. Josh is awesome. It's etsy.com/shop/Shaw's Customs. I always feel like Sean Connery when I say that line, but that's good stuff. And yeah, that is going to do it for me. Make sure you guys check out Shaw's Customs. Tell him Sheriff Joe Back sent you. You won't get a deal, but he'll get a kick out of it. So make sure you guys do that. But that is going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Rams Showcase on Sports Wall Radio. For those of you who aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you that are Rams fans, thank you guys so much for listening, and you guys have a great night.